Well, g'day. We got the move that we were anticipating last night. So we came up and we touched this point of interest to go short. I didn't realize it would just reject so beautifully. We just came up, we nipped it at 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. We came and gave about a 50% mitigation of the order. We just crossed over a daily liquidity level in the middle of that, and then we fell away from uh, 11 o'clock last night. And we've pretty much been just falling through for most of that day. So, for the day. So, what we've got here is we broke down through this little liquidity wick, which has now become a liquidity retest. This one through here, I'll just get rid of that now. So this one we broke through, we didn't wick it on either side. The wicks have been rejected either side, and there's an imbalance candle on the as it came through. So that has become, let's just make this a little bit bigger just so we can look through. So see how prices come down, didn't touch, rejected away, fell through, came up, didn't touch, and fell away. So that is still an area of that's still a liquidity retest area. Here, this one has come through and has been mitigated by multiple candles, so that is now null and void. And so now we've got this area down here, which was an imbalance. This was a liquidity retest because we came up, broke through, we came down and we've tested it and we've rejected off it. So this is the current level, keeping it up there because it is the current level. And we are looking at further to the downside, we're looking at liquidity retest levels, where this one has come through, it rested on it, but didn't quite. Oh, let's come across here. We'll enlarge. Let's make this a little bit better. So we fell away. We broke through. We came back, but we didn't actually liquidate that level. We've just rested just above it, and we shot off through. So now we've got, excuse me. So now we've got the chance where price can either go up naturally, or is price going to come down? And if it comes down, is it just going to touch these levels and move up higher, or is it going to come up and take this level here and come down this way? So so these are our potentials. It's always an if this then that situation. So we've got the potential where we've got a liquidity retest through there. We've got a liquidity wick here. So are we going to shoot off through? Just here is another liquidity wick. So to our upside, we've got 66,880. We've got 67,560. 67,640. So there are three levels to the upside. To the downside, we've got 66,146. We've got a fresh liquidity wick here at 65,957. And the low of the move, which is 65,875. So we can see that there's two areas of as an area of support which we can come through here. So this is an area of support which we may find support and take off through, or we may start to come through with the intention of mitigating these areas. Let's just zoom up to a daily, and we'll have a look to see. So there's no there. Oh, actually, sorry. So in here, there is a daily imbalance from here to here, which might be filled. But then we start to fall. If we break down through this area, we could come through and start to take these areas of so from this area, from this point of interest protected low at 63,271. If we fall down to the $63,000 level, then we have to start taking a real bearish look at this. I do think it's just a minor pullback. We are looking at the federal conversation happening on the 31st, so that's 2 days from now in the morning, and that is something that we've just got to look at. So we've come up, we're filling this imbalance, we're resting on the liquidity retest on the low, we wicked it here, so we're starting to fill it. So I think it's safe to say that that imbalance is filled now. As of this morning, it wasn't filled, it is now filled. Now we're looking at where we're going to find resistance or support as we move through this area. So I'm starting to look at starting to dollar cost average into a position down here for a short move up to this as a potential take profit zone, and this is a potential take profit zone depending on interest. If we move out to if we want to have a look at the S&P, we've got so with the S&P 500, we've done the same as what we thought. So we were talking about whether this would be a point of interest of rejection. That would be like a liquidation level and rejection, but price never got into there. Price only came up to that first level. So we came up, we rejected off that area, that liquidity retest over here at 5,500, and now we're falling down. So we potentially have found liquidity support. Obviously, this is the average of 500 companies, so there's no liquidity within this chart. It's merely a reflection of the entire market. But we found an area of support here at this liquidity area at 547,000, and we're rejecting strongly. So we have a nice impulse to the upside for the last 3 hours, which is fine. That's good. When we come over to Solana, we came up, we touched that first rejection, and we've just sold off from 3 o'clock yesterday, and then where Bitcoin sold off on at 11 o'clock, 2300, so did Solana, and it's just moving to the downside. You can kind of notice here that in this area, Solana was selling off before Bitcoin. So if we go into Solana, into Bitcoin, Bitcoin was still moving up higher and had 2 higher high wicks than Solana, where Solana was selling lower. On Ethereum, same area, we kind of came up. We got 2 higher highs, a slight sell-off, and from our 11 o'clock, we were already moving down. So we could see that Solana was leading the pack. It was leading the interest, even though Bitcoin had the weight. Solana was leading the direction, and then and then came along Ethereum, and then Bitcoin followed suit as the tail behemoth. So now we're also looking at here, so we've had the sell-off, a strong rejection, a higher low, where we've got Solana. There is no higher low. We've got a low, we've got a lower low, and we still haven't broken any highs. We've got Bitcoin, we've got a low, a lower low. So now we've got Solana, so now we've got Ethereum with more strength than Bitcoin. If we look at, the US dollar, USDT, what happens? If we look at USDT, nothing has really changed. No dollar's been pulled out of the market. We've still, there has been a little bit, but really not too much. So we were looking at this yesterday. There was a little bit of a sell-off, and there's just a little bit of a follow-through, but on Monday at 9 o'clock was the lowest. There was a little fill of price into the market, and it's basically just been mitigating. It's seeming pretty standard. We may have, here you see a little bit of a sell-off and then a dropout. We've had a little bit of a move up and then an impulse, a sell-off, an impulse. Now we've got this slight, it's so slight with the sell-off. At the high we're looking at 114.4 billion. At the low, excluding this large wick, was 114.38. So we're looking at less than 100 billion move in this, which I'd like in my bank account, but as far as the greater market is, there's not a lot there. So I'm looking at, for a longer-term play, that Ethereum is looking stronger than Bitcoin and Solana. Solana still has this great sell-off. Let's have a quick look on the daily, just to sort of take stock here. So Solana broke this recent high of May, came down, double bottomed, moved up quite strongly, but rejected. So that gives us an idea that we either will be coming back to the bounce off this 50% level again, or maybe retrace to the 61.8% level on the Fibonacci short-term impulse from the 25th of July, which is kind of like a week worth. If we look at Ethereum, we have had that bigger sell-off from May. We were higher up in May, but we do have the manipulation from the ETFs, but we are seeing higher highs, and we still have imbalance that was filled with Monday's wick, but we're still looking at 2 days of bullish candles. Solana had 3 bullish candles. Yesterday was a bearish candle. So I'm looking at Ethereum with a more positive move to the upside. Bitcoin is looking at, we had bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish. This is an engulfing wick. So we've come up, we've tested, we broke through, and we fell further to the downside. So I do feel that Ethereum is going to be the stronger player of the day, but I am looking at these lower levels on Bitcoin for a shorter term pullback to get in for a few better prices, because I am still macro bullish. So that's what I'm looking at for today, and that's it. Thanks for tuning in. If there's anything else you'd like to know, leave a comment in the chat, leave a question in the comments, and I will see you tomorrow. Alright, thank you. Bye.